Hello, fellow doodlers! Next month is Mermay, the month of drawing mermaids. And who doesn't like drawing mermaids?
I don't like to draw mermaids.
Nobody asked you! Anyways, the thing I really want to talk about is tails, but I'll cover other stuff as well. The first thing I want to address is gravity. There is none. It's underwater. Therefore, a mermaid can float around and move fluidly, which means more dramatic lines of action. While lines on humans mostly are around the spine, a mermaid's goes down into the tail. The more dramatic the line, the more interesting. The line of action on a human is basically where the spine is, and the spine can only give one curve. Now that the spine is longer, it can curve a lot more, at least in the tail. When figuring out the curves, keep in mind that opposing curves will look more alive and interesting. I want to briefly cover mermaid tops, because mermaids are depicted with either nothing or some seashells, typically. But don't let that restrict you. Since mermaids are mythical creatures, there aren't really any rules to follow. You can use regular human clothes or your own designs, whatever you choose. You can also add accessories like bags or beads, necklaces, whatever you come up with. Now for types of mermaids. There are many fish in the sea, as they say, and while that may refer to dating, this also refers to the types of mermaids. Which means there can be many mermaids as well. Despite stereotyping mermaids as those gorgeous seductresses, you can make them more fish-like as well. Depending on the prompt or the sort of inspiration I get, I will change the type of mermaid. I've seen some that are shark mermaids, I've seen some that are octopus or lionfish. I saw that one once, that was pretty cool. But just really depending on how I feel and based on the prompt of mermaid gives me. And now for tails. When you're drawing a mermaid, merman, or merdog, you'll typically add a tail. I have seen some without tails, but where's the fun in that? First, the length. Depending on the style of mermaid, the length is really up to taste or opinion. For me, the tails are long. Instead of using the half-half rule that you use for an actual human with their legs and their upper body, I make the tail nice and long. In my opinion, it opens up more possibilities, which leads to styles. Unless you're using tentacles or crab legs, tails are what you're gonna go with. And oh my gosh, you can do so much with them. For starters, look at other fish. Every single kind of fish has a different tail and coloring. Try designing tails off of those. This can give you your own ideas. Other than that, there is also attaching, where a human meets fish. My personal favorite is blending, where the tail just sort of gradiates into the skin or the human side. Coloring your mermaid is entirely up to you. I like adding gradients because I think it looks better, but you do whatever you want. I really don't have any plans for how I'm going to color these things, unless I'm going to make some like big, gorgeous masterpiece. But I don't usually do that. So I just sort of jump head in and paint whatever I want, and I can redo it later because it's digital. And if it's traditional, yeah, then I'll plan it. Hair basically stays the same. I've never given a mermaid like really short hair or tied back. That's because you can use floating hair to emphasis being underwater. As long as I have like a few tendrils floating in the water, I think that looks good. But I've never actually done like hard hair or shaved head or anything like that. Just because I prefer the look of floating around the face and stuff. I think it looks good. Multicolored or unnatural colored hair is common as well. Same with the eyes. You can also color their skin in different colors since they're not human. You can make it the color of that fish, or what I like to do is if I find a fish, I like to pick the lightest color that fish has and color the mermaid with that for their skin. I don't draw detailed scales for the tail though. I'm too lazy for that. Well, I hope this video helped prepare you for Mermay. If you have any questions or anything you want me to touch up on, I can make a short later or something to smooth things out or answer your questions. I hope you're looking forward to Mermay as much as I am. This is one of my favorites. Inktober is stressful for me. Mermay is more fun because I feel more free when I'm doing that. And yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I hope it helped. Questions, comments, or suggestions, leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. And that's it. Bye. See you next week. Or I like to make it, instead of just a smooth gradient, I'll make it kind of like a spackly. I don't really know how to explain this. It's a sort of a poof dots and a bunch of like scales just sort of fade into her. I am making 0 sense.